Also, keep listening for your chance to win tickets to the Hamilton County Speedway's Fall Futurity. That's happening this Friday and Saturday as well at the historic Hamilton County Speedway. And as I mentioned, Todd Staley, promoter of the Hamilton County Speedway, he's going to be on with me coming up next hour. So get ready for that also. Well, coming up 1 week from this Saturday is the big Haunted Weekend. And Dr. Rebecca Foster is going to be facilitating that. She's going to be doing some gallery readings. She's going to be doing a VIP investigation of the grounds as well, because talk is that there's some haunting and going on at the grounds of the fort right here in Fort Dodge. And speaking of Dr. Rebecca Foster, well, there she is, by golly, joining us this morning live from the WDM. How are things down in West Des Moines, Doctor?
Sorry, hold on 1 second. My computer stopped charging, and I was
no.
Why did it stop charging? So I was down trying to figure out the plug.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, like a typical radio person, I was able to keep talking because I saw you were not in the screen. And I'm thinking, okay, she either dropped her pen or something else, and mouse ran by her foot. Something went wrong. Yeah, we'll just wait until she's available. You know, that kind of thing.
You know what? I was sitting up here the whole time, and then I went, "Oh my gosh, my computer just stopped charging." And that's all I need is for the whole feed to just like die while I'm here.
We would just think it was haunted, Doctor. That's all it was.
Figures. There's never a technological glitch. Like it's not me without a technological glitch. So
well, I know the feeling. You know, being in broadcasting for going on 25 years, if something doesn't go wrong, that means it's not been a normal day. You know, I mean, it's just how it goes. Doctor, first off, good morning officially.
Good morning.
Good to have you on. I'm great. Thanks for taking the time to be on. Sorry I got a hold of you last minute, and then after I got a hold of you, I didn't realize until this morning, Jane comes walking into my studio and she says, "Well, where's Rebecca?" And I said, "Well, she's going to be on at about 8:30. She goes, "Oh, she coming in? Why is she coming in 2 days in a row?" And I said, 2 days in a row? And she goes, "Yeah, she's going to be here tomorrow." I'm like, "Well, why didn't I wait?" Instead of putting her through this twice, for crying out loud.
Oh my gosh. You know what? It's all good. It's all good. There's no rush. Then it's just you and me.
I appreciate your having that positive outlook, Doctor. I really do. That's nice of you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow here at the studios. That's going to be cool.
I know. It'll be fun.
How are things at WDM today, though, West Des Moines? You still live in West Des Moines, right?
I'm just west of West Des Moines, yes. So it's chilly. It's very chilly. I'm looking forward to this last blast. And you know, it's so funny. I was just saying, we always look forward to this little bit of like summer saying, "Oh, wait, I found some in storage. Here's another couple of nice days." And then when we reverse it in the winter, it's like, "Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. And now it's snowing." Like, hate you, old man winter, for doing this. And just found some extra snow that I have to throw at you guys. So
have you noticed how Mother Nature, not to get off on a different topic, but Mother Nature in the last like 10 years has decided, you know what? I'm going to bring winter to Iowa a little bit later and just kind of mess with them. I'm going to make spring later. I'm going to make fall later. And, you know, because honestly, when was the last time we had a true, genuine white Christmas? It's been 4 or 5 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's usually snowing in January, February, March.
Yeah,
and yet that's when like Iowa gets the blizzards in March. Girls state basketball weekend.
Right. And then if you remember back in 16 or 17, 18, we had a blizzard on May 2nd.
You know what? All I know is that Mother Nature is always, I actually did this funny spoofy video about the seasons and how crazy they've been. And I did this a couple of years ago just because they're all nuts. They don't know what they're doing, and they're fighting for the attention, and it's pretty funny. But
you know, no offense to the elderly, because Rebecca, I'm getting older with every passing second, and I feel it. Believe me, I'm in my mid 50s, and I feel like I'm in my mid 90s most times. But you know, just like us, Mother Nature, Old Man Winter, Jack Frost, they're getting older too. So their faculties may not be what they used to be.
I don't think so. Because, White Christmas just not happen. And it seems to be just milder. I know, you've got the cornfields and the wind, but the winters feel like they're milder. And then you get this huge amount of fluffy snow. Okay.
Crazy,
I just want to move to someplace warmer.
Right. Okay, now you and I are at least relatively in the same ballpark age-wise. I know you're younger than I am, but You remember, speaking of now that we're in the Halloween season and the whole, fun with the
Yes,
ghosts
I
and the
do
things.
remember it.
Do you remember Halloween? Do you?
Yes.
Do you
It
remember?
was like you went out, you were walking and it was nice and beautiful and it just seemed like it was a different experience and now you're freezing your tail off. At least that was for me. It was beautiful out. I don't know.
See, and I remember many times, probably 3 or 4 anyway, trick or treating in snow. You get this neat costume that you got to cover with a big heavy winter jacket and trick or
Yeah.
treating in snow.
Well, I think that didn't happen for I mean, when I was younger, that and Easter. Easter eggs, we went out Easter morning and
Right?
it was cool, but it was still you could do everything outside. And now it's cold at Easter. And when I was younger, it was warm and beautiful. And then as I gradually got older, I was like, why are we having to bundle up? So
Right?
I do think that seasons have shifted a little bit. I think they've been off on their little calendar idea of adding just one little blip every 4 years. I think they they need to just reset.
Yeah, they need to have
Reset.
another committee meeting and get this thing straightened out without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Halloween, though, and the Halloween season, I'm going to assume this is probably one of your favorite times of the year, just because of the whole ambiance of it all.
It's my favorite time of year all year. Like I live for the fall. It's beautiful, it's cool, it's the rain, it's the leaves, it's the hauntings. It is my favorite time of year and it's here and gone before I know it.
Now, is this also become your busiest time professionally, time of the year?
Yeah. September, October, I'm not even home on the weekends. I'm gone. Just doing galleries, investigations, and people also pick up with their own private parties as well because they all want to get their friends together for a good fright. And so I leave those months open because it's absolutely insane. It's just September and October, and then people are over it for the most part. But the investigations and so forth continue throughout the year. But this is loaded. It's
Absolutely, I can
definitely
imagine why. Everybody wants that anyway, but then they want it, in that season when it's the Halloween time.
supposed to be.
Right,
Yes,
right.
exactly.
I've been meaning to ask you this for quite some time, Doctor, and we'll get to next week's haunted weekend in just a second here. But most of us when we talk to a doctor, we go, we always kind of take advantage of that and go, doctor, I've been having these headaches, or doctor, I got this pain right here, or whatever.
People do it
Do,
all the time.
do they do that to you? Do they say, hey, doctor, I hear these weird, strange noises in my house, or hey, doctor, I thought I saw this aberration, or whatever?
Or I'm feeling ill, or what's wrong with me, or something's going on and my doctors don't know. Can you tell me what it
I
is?
think
I
you're a
get it all the
medical
time.
doctor.
I am. Well, I'm not in the sense that I'm an MD, but I'm a medical intuitive. So I actually do an entire show focused only on people's health.
Is that right? I
Mhm.
never knew that. That is very cool.
Yeah.
So is it
Yeah.
like different than a holistic approach kind of thing?
No, it's actually focusing on just that person's energy and I'm able to kind of place myself in their position or in their shoes.
Hmm.
And then I'm able to go through and find out, simple things that they're dealing with. It might be like a sinus infection or a sore throat, could be the thyroid, it might be something in the brain, they'll run me through the whole head, and then I get to the lungs. With women, it's breast tissue as well, because we're looking for breast cancer or
Hmm.
cysts. And then we look at lungs, heart, the nervous system, the blood flow, if there's higher levels of white cells or the need for some iron, anemia, and they just run me through all of the organs and if there is a potential for anything that they are unaware of to go to a doctor and get treatment.
Now, Rebecca, do you do like gatherings for this kind of thing, like events for this kind of thing?
Yes,
Wow, we're gonna have to have you
absolutely.
back
It's
for
a
something
huge
like this.
part of what I do. Huh?
Wow, I don't know that anybody other than Jane, because Jane's known you for many years, but I don't know that any one of us knew that. We're gonna have to have you up here for an event just to do something like that, because let's be real, especially when we get to be about my age, we always find something wrong with us that we want an answer to.
Well, yeah, and that's when I'm reading for people privately, that's one of the things that I always cover. That's one of the questions. It's what's going on with my health. So I've just kind of created a room that I go into on an earthly level that deals solely with their health. And for instance, if I'm reading someone and their husband or their wife or their child has an earache or a heart issue, I read people through people as well that are close to them. So I can tell them, "Oh my gosh, your husband or your child that go take care of these things as well." So
There.
it's yeah, yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised and impressed. I was actually halfway making a joke about people asking doctors, taking advantage of the professionalism of a doctor without paying the doctor fee. I was more thinking on the the ghost side, the apparition side,
Both sides. I get it
the
for both.
wow, very interesting, very
Yeah.
interesting. Well,
Like
w-
with you, the only thing I actually pick up with you is that this is a both a it's a physical and a spiritual thing going on with your duodenum area within your stomach, and this could be caused by maybe an eating habit, but also it seems to be uh, worsened by a food that not that you're allergic to, but it feels like you have an intolerance to it as you're growing older. And it could simply be like watching what you eat when it comes to greasier foods. It feels like your stomach is having trouble breaking those things down. So if you experience indigestion, it'll be right where the stomach is squeezing it through and out. And that would probably create a backup of some kind. If you start to experience indigestion or heartburn, it's probably because that area is struggling to deal with the breakdown of those things. So chew your food. Just chew it. Use that saliva. Use your teeth. Get it as ground up. It's the grossest thing in the world, but it helps your stomach to actually digest quicker.
well, I got to say this, and I mean this with all due respect for you and all due liking for you. I don't want to paint you as a creeper, but if you look into my windows, because I have got that exact thing that I've been dealing with for about a couple of years. I've never really sought medical attention for it, but it just seems like it's getting worse progressively as I get older. And
Yeah.
it's ironic you would say chew your food because I'm the youngest of 10 kids, and my father was always the first one at the supper table and the last one to leave because he would chew his food so finely and so minutely. And we finally one of us and myself, of course, asked him, Dad, why do you chew your food so much? And he said, Hey, let me tell you this: I've never had a stomach problem. And
Mhm.
it's like, wow, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
We seem to be in such a rush all the time that we scarf down our food and we don't
Mhm.
realize that we're scarfing down bigger chunks. And then all of a sudden you're like, ow, 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 as it scrapes going down your esophagus and your belly's like, seriously, why do you even have teeth? So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that I am impressed by your intuitiveness with that. That's absolutely amazing, and your sensitivity to that with me just on a video. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Highly impressed. Go ahead and send me a bill.
Okay. That'll be $500.
And I'll ignore that one like I do most of my
Just
bills.
kidding.
So.
No, I was actually you found out. I mean, I was actually like, "Oh, looking in the window," like, I was peeking like that.
I wondered.
Found
I
that out.
heard something banging on it the other night, and I was wondering. I don't know if you fell or what it
Judy,
was.
that was me. That was me.
Well, Doctor, let's get into next weekend because you're going to be here in Fort Dodge out at the fort, which is, I don't know if you've ever been there in all the years that you've been working with our stations. If you've ever been out to the fort or not, other than to do your other events. I don't know if you've ever walked the grounds, though, is what I'm getting at. And
Absolutely.
have you?
Yes.
And so that there's some feel there. There's some feeling going on. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people for many years have said, it's haunted out there. It really is.
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of the history of Fort Dodge. So that makes a lot of sense that there's something out there, some things out there
Mhm.
that people are feeling surrounding them as they're out and about.
Yes. Well,
Wow.
I've been out there, living in the Fort Dodge area for so many years. I used to just to go to walk around because it's got this ambiance and you're taken back in time and you're able to go through the house, which the bottom portion isn't so much haunted. It's the upstairs portion in the house where the beds are. You can't really get up there. It's roped off.
Hmm.
But there's some stuff up there. And walking through the general store has a male energy in it. Not really the buildings themselves, each one, but the fort, holy shnikes, you've got that just to explain to people, there are barracks on both sides of the fort on the lower portion. And there's one side over here that has dolls in it and a few other items that are sleeping quarters to represent what the soldiers would have gone through, like Civil War period. And
Hmm.
then uh, different kitchen utensils and items that have just been brought in. Oh, and then the whole military. Oh my gosh, there's that. And my kids have gone with me and they too are very sensitive, so they've experienced it. And then the other side is more the historical, beautiful aspect, and then a native section as well. Those two buildings are uber infested with ghosties. And they're
Mm,
probably not just hanging around, but they're attached. And I've always wanted to just get in there and sit down and talk to someone. There's a woman in this beautiful gown in the right hand section, towards the doodads. Those I can't even think. When I'm channeling and when I'm reading, you don't ask me to come up with words. I'll make stuff up. But it's the place where you climb the tower. There we go. The
there you
tower.
got it. You got it.
Simplistic words like that, I will just make up words.
I know now, confirmation. You just gave me confirmation that you have been hanging out outside my house because I didn't think there was anybody else on God's green earth
That says
that used the
doodads.
word that no, it says schnikes. I say,
Snacks?
yeah, I say that, and my people look at me like, "What was that? It just came out of your mouth." So, Rebecca, just you know what? Knock on the door, ring the doorbell. I'll let you in. We'll have some coffee, hang out, chat for a while.
Okay. All right. Gosh. Stop telling people my secret.
So next week when you're here, are you going to be
I
able to
do
get in
like your
there?
purple dinosaur undies, though. I do like those
See,
boxers. I need to know where to get those.
they're getting tighter fitting, so I don't know. I try not to wear them too much because, well, they cut off the circulation, but that's a whole other thing.
Okay. I get it.
So, I'm a big fan of Barney. What can I say? So any
Oh, that's it. I was like, where do I recognize a dinosaur? It's Barney.
or Dino, one of the two.
Yeah, I
Any
think it was Barney.
anyway, yeah, probably stupid looking as Barney. Anyway, next week when you're here, are you going to go into to the actual living quarters and try and do that? Is that something you're going to have happen?
Oh, yes. Yes,
Good.
yes, yes. Wherever they let me go and unlock, I'm going to take people. I'm going to
Awesome.
take people. So the people that are watching that, those tickets sold out, they were sold out in a day. The investigation aspect of the gallery and then the investigation, they sold out very quickly. But the problem is when you have too many people talk, and it's really hard to get people to be quiet and listen. And that is the one thing that when you go to an investigation, it's just, for me, I love bringing people on an experience where they're able to hear things, see things, record things with their own phones, and holy cow, look what I caught. But it's an investigation. So it's sitting down, asking a question, and then being quiet. And it may be really, really, really interesting because prior to the investigation is the gallery, 2 hours worth with an open bar.
Right. That's what I get.
So we may have people like, I hear the spirits. No, that's just the spirits. So,
Well, you're hearing spirits, all right, but not the same ones I am. That kind of thing.
right. But it should be interesting. I really, it's a lot of fun. And depending on if maybe there's people that have never done this before, I'm hoping that they have an experience. Usually these things will make themselves known, maybe poke someone. They're not just residual energies. You can actually go in and they'll be like, "Hi, how are you?
Hmm.
Let's talk." So they are very aware of their surroundings.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to the galleries themselves, let me let everybody know that you can still get tickets for that. All you got to do is go to our
Yes.
website, yourfortdodge.com. That's yourfortdodge.com. You'll see Dr. Rebecca Foster and the Haunted Weekend right there at the very homepage at the very top. Right when you click onto that, click that. It'll take you right where you need to go to get your tickets for next Saturday. Doctor, I know you're a consummate professional in every way, shape, and form. I know that you, other than looking in my windows, I know that you are I know that you have done
Can't
this
help
for
myself.
well, yeah, that explains the vomit outside too. Seeing me in the dinosaur on these,
Oh,
but
no. No, 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 no. That's not it. That's not it. I ate that pie that you left in the window
oh,
that
that's
night. That
what
was
it
me.
was. That was you. Gotcha.
That was me.
Well, I feel better then anyway. I thought it was me. So
No.
anyway, next week, or in your career, I know you've done this for many, many years. Have you ever come across a spirit or a feeling where you go, hey, this is really not something we want to encounter. This is not a friendly type. This is not something we want to deal with.
Absolutely. There's times where people often ask, "Why aren't you going in to talk? Why are you afraid or why are you acting that way?" Because you are essentially you're summoning an elephant. And what are you going to do when it appears? I know that if I am not welcome, my guides, my protection will make me feel very uneasy. They'll make me feel almost anxious or nauseous, like back up, don't go any further. And I trust that. I do not mess with those things. I actually just did an investigation last weekend at the YMCA in Rock Island, and I had walked into the basement during the day, no big deal. I knew there was a guy down there. I knew some funky things were happening. I just kept my wits about me so that I could really truly feel and assess this place during the day. And I knew that it was not a place I wanted to go at night. I knew that energies do change, and it's a why. So during the day, you have different energies. At night, these people are coming in to go to sleep or do whatever. And I just felt a really dangerous energy down there. So I said, I'm not going in the basement. I have no reason to go down there and test whatever is down there. I will investigate. And during the evening, I had someone investigating with me, and it separated us during the evening, making noises in another part of the building. And so I was left alone where this basement entrance area was at. And so that evening, there was a monitor that kept going off for motion. And I'm sitting there going, I can't see who is doing this. I can't see them. That's always bad for me. If I am not aware, if I can't hear you, if I can't see you in the light, darkness is different, but in the light, there's something bad. And this gentleman walked to the end of the basement hall where the ramp would end. And he looked, and he was in blue jeans and a button down top, brown curly hair. And I was like, oh, okay. So this guy says, come on, my name's Walter or something. I thought it was Walter. And he's like, come on. And he said, you or Alan, come here. And so Alan, this gentleman I was with, goes to the end of the hallway, and he's like, I can't, oh my God, I don't feel well. I don't feel well. He come running up, and he said there was a black mass that moved across the basement. It scared him to death. And the next morning, I went looking for him, and I couldn't find him anywhere, Alan. And I stood at the top of the ramp, and I yelled, I'm like, Alan, Alan, what do you? And I hear motion and movement downstairs. And I looked and I said, there's a light on. And I said, are you in the basement conquering ghosts at 7 a.m.? What are you doing? And I'm looking, I'm yelling for him a good 4 or 5 minutes. And then I realized the cameras are gone. Okay. You downstairs? So I'm like, doo doo doo, stupid me, boop a doo. I'm going into the basement. I'm walking around. I'm like, Alan, where are you at? What you doing? And he goes, Rebecca. And I said, where are you? And he said, I'm right here. I'm like, I can't find you. I was in as far in the basement as you could go. And this is where there was some creepy, creepy things happening during the day. And he's like, I said, where are you? He goes, I'm up here. And I was like, I was just lured by myself down here into the basement by this thing. You've ever seen someone run faster? That would be me. I sped up. I hightailed it around the corner, and I said, this thing just made noise. The basement lights on. It lured me down there. It knew I didn't know where you were. And I was out of sight, it knew I was by myself. And I wasn't even afraid getting down there until I realized this thing's laughing at me like, look what I can do. And I thought, oh my God, holy cow. Yeah.
Well, I won't sleep tonight, but anyway.
Well, that was Alan. He's like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. I'm good. I'm like, let's leave. He goes, well, we have to turn everything off. I said, why are you locking the doors? He goes, we have to go out through the basement. I was like, no. So as we're leaving, the door wouldn't, we had to go through this thing's territory. And he's walking ahead of me, and I'm looking behind me like, okay, I know he's right here. I'm turning my camera to face and my flashlight to face behind me, and I can feel him coming closer. And he's trying to unlock this door. This door will not unlock. I'm like, do you want that for you? Because Jason is coming up right behind us with a machete, and I need to get out of this basement. It was one of those moments, and you're like, open the door. Because he's bad. This person was bad, and I didn't know what he was capable of. I don't know what he was. What his strengths are, and if he's able to manifest that strength. And I couldn't get out fast enough, and then the door wouldn't shut. The door wouldn't shut. I tried 5 times. I'm like, Alan, slam it. So I was glad. I can't wait to go back, though. I really can't wait to go back. So that'll be fun.
You're brave. if you can't wait to go back, you're extremely brave. I mean, I wouldn't call it, stupid you. I would say you're just brave because you're a professional. You know what you're doing. But oh my goodness, Rebecca, that's beyond just
It can get scary. It can
I
get scary. You don't know what they can do.
I
Did you
don't
ever see
need
the
to.
movie The Entity? Did
Oh
you ever see
yes,
that movie?
yes.
Okay, that was like my real scariest horror film of something that really truly happened in life, and it's embedded in my head, and I
Mm,
watched it when it first came out. So I was like, what, 8 watching this, and I was already dealing with this crazy stuff. That stuff is legit and it can happen. They can like physically hurt you.
wow.
So,
The horror film that I still call the scariest horror film of all time because age-wise, it's when I was a kid seeing the commercials for this. It's still The Exorcist, without a doubt,
oh yeah,
in my opinion.
I can't watch it.
Oh man, I watched it once when I was an adult, and I will never watch it again.
No, you can't.
No way. But
Yep.
I still am a Halloween guy. As far as the first couple goes, the rest of them are
Yeah.
garbage. But anyway, wow, I really admire and respect your ability
Thank
to do that, Rebecca. That's something even somebody like me, I'd be like I was a martial arts instructor for 30 years, 30 plus years. I wouldn't begin to, because what am I going to do? Roundhouse kick a spirit? That's not going to happen.
You
So
try.
God bless
You
you.
might give yourself a hyena doing it, but
At my age, I would break something. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, God bless you for what you do. And again, all the respect and kudos in the world to you. It's fantastic. Again, folks,
thanks.
get the tickets to the gallery. It's coming up next Saturday. It's going to be out at the
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. I'm sorry, I can't leave out
Yep.
Friday. At the Opera House at the Fort. And man, check that out. Again, go on to our website, yourfortdodge.com. Get that taken care of and stop out and see Dr. Rebecca. Rebecca, I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow when you get here. So don't let Jane monopolize all your time.
I won't. I
All right.
won't. She is a monopolizer. She'll try. She may even have food, which
She
will
will,
definitely.
because that's what she
Okay.
does.
Then
Yeah, she have you met Dolly, her dog?
I have, yes,
Okay, Dolly will be here because
several
Dolly comes
times.
every day, so yeah. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you
I'm
tomorrow.
sure she's not gonna be impressed, so.
You have a great rest of your day. Thanks
You
for taking
too.
the time, Rebecca. I appreciate it greatly.
Thanks for having me, Darren.
Anytime. We'll talk to you tomorrow, sister, okay?
Yes, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dr. Rebecca Foster, again, make sure you check out the gallery coming up next Saturday, Friday and Saturday at the Opera House right here in Fort Dodge. Go to our website, yourfortdodge.com. Hey, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Hamilton County Speedway in just a couple seconds. Stay right here on the Morning Train.